The new roommate asterisk. The space shuttle landed on Moonbase Zeta with a soft hum. From the glass window, Jaden looked outside. The alien world seemed quiet. Too quiet. Jaden was one of the first humans to join the peace exchange program. 1 month of living with an alien roommate, studying their culture and reporting back to Earth. It sounded easy, safe, but deep down, he felt something was off. A robot voice guided him through long silver halls. Room 17B, your quarters. Welcome, human Jaden. He stepped inside the room. It looked modern and clean. There were 2 beds, some glowing blue lights, and a small screen on the wall. Everything felt cold. Empty. Before he could unpack, the door hissed open. An alien walked in. She was tall, with soft gray skin, large glowing eyes, and silver markings on her arms. She wore a dark uniform with a symbol that looked like a spiral sun. She paused, looked at him carefully, and gave a short nod. Greetings, I am Zeta. I have been assigned as your roommate. Her voice was soft, almost calm, but her eyes watched him closely, like she was scanning his soul. Jaden smiled nervously. Hey, I'm Jaden. I guess we're roommates now. They stood there in silence for a few seconds. The only sound was the hum of the machines in the wall. Zeta finally spoke again. Human schedules include eating at regular hours. There is food for you in the blue unit. Jaden nodded. Thanks. Over the next few days, they lived together in a strange rhythm. Zeta didn't sleep at night. She sat in silence, meditating or watching the glowing screen. She barely ate, and she asked questions, so many questions. Why do humans laugh when they are nervous? Why do you sleep with your eyes closed? Have you ever bonded with another being? Jaden answered politely. He even laughed. Sometimes. But he always felt like she was studying him, not talking to him. Then, on the 5th night, things changed. Jaden was lying on his bed, trying to watch some old movie on his tablet when the lights flickered. The soft blue glow turned red. Then a loud alarm rang through the room. Warning, mating season initiated. All exchange participants must remain indoors. Jaden sat up. Wait, what? Mating season? What does that mean? Zeta stood from her side of the room. Her eyes glowed brighter now. Her voice was deeper. It has started. You must not leave the room. Jaden blinked. What started? What is this? Zeta turned toward the door. She placed her hand on a panel. The door made a clicking sound. Locked. Jaden jumped up. Hey, why did you lock the door? Zeta faced him slowly. Her face was calm, but something in her eyes looked different. Wilder, it is not safe outside. During mating season, our species experiences changes, strong urges, powerful instincts. Jaden laughed nervously. Okay, that's weird. But I'm not part of your species, so I should be fine, right? Zeta didn't answer. She stepped closer. That is why you were brought here, to observe, to bond, to survive the season. Jaden's heart started to race. Wait, what? Survive? Zeta tilted her head. You do not understand now. But you will. The room is programmed to assist us. It knows what we need. Jaden backed away. The red lights grew brighter. The air felt warmer, heavy. Look, I signed up for cultural exchange, not whatever this is. Zeta's voice softened again. No one forced you, you applied. You were accepted. You were selected. Jaden froze. Selected? What do you mean? Why me? She didn't answer. Instead, she sat cross-legged on the floor, closed her eyes, and began humming softly. A strange, deep tone that echoed through the room. Jaden stared. Was she dangerous? Was he trapped? The alarm voice returned. Mating season duration, 5 days. Remain inside. No outside contact permitted. He looked at the locked door, then at the alien across from him. 5 days with her? The lights dimmed to a soft red dot, and the room fell silent. Asterisk. Jaden didn't sleep that night. How could he? The red lights, the strange hum, and the alien sitting cross-legged like a silent statue. It all felt like a bad dream. At some point, he dozed off. But not for long. When he woke, the air in the room had changed. Warmer, thicker, like the room was breathing. Zeta was still in the same position, but her skin looked different, slightly glowing. Her markings were brighter now, almost moving. Jaden sat up. Okay, enough. I want answers. Zeta opened her eyes slowly. You asked too soon. The changes have only begun. He stood pacing. I don't care about your alien rules or rituals. I didn't agree to be part of your season. I just want to leave. She blinked. Leaving now would be unwise. Your presence is stabilizing me. Stabilizing you? What does that even mean? She stood too. Her movements were slower now, as if she was holding something back. Our species bonds through energy during the season. Without a bondmate, we lose control. We change. Sometimes we do not return to our original form. Jaden frowned. So I'm a battery for your emotions? Zeta stepped closer. You are more than that. You were chosen because your human energy is compatible. By who? Zeta hesitated. By the council, but also by me. Jaden's heart skipped. You chose me? She nodded. I studied many human profiles. You showed strength, humor, empathy, qualities we value. Jaden sat down on the edge of his bed, trying to process it all. So what? You just pick a human off a list like ordering food? Zeta didn't react. Instead, she walked to the wall screen. With a wave of her hand, it lit up, showing rows of strange symbols. Then, photos of humans, names, files, some marked rejected, others incompatible. Jaden saw his face under approved. You had no right. You applied to the program, Zeta said. We only accepted those who had something missing. Jaden looked up sharply. What's that supposed to mean? Zeta's voice was quiet now. You are alone, no family, no partner. You came here to escape. You hope to feel useful. Jaden stared at the screen. That doesn't give you permission to trap me here. Zeta turned back to him. The room is locked for safety, but not just for me. You would not survive outside. He raised an eyebrow. Try me. She didn't argue. Instead, she pressed another button. The wall turned transparent, revealing the hallway outside. Jaden gasped. A creature twice Zeta's size was crawling on the ceiling. Its skin pulsed with light, eyes glowing yellow. It screamed a deep, horrible sound, and slammed into another door before vanishing into the vents. Jaden stepped back, heart racing. What the hell was that? That is what happens when one of us enters mating season without control. Zeta turned back to him. You are not a prisoner, Jaden. You are my balance. Jaden didn't speak. He walked to his bed slowly and sat again. The silence stretched between them like a wire. Finally he asked, so what happens now? Zeta replied, now the room adapts to us. It will read our needs, emotion, tension, even attraction. Jaden blinked. Attraction? She nodded. It is part of the bonding. Not always physical, sometimes emotional, sometimes deeper. The lights in the room shifted, softer now. A calming glow. The walls pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. Jaden looked around. So this room is alive? Artificially intelligent. But yes, it feels us. It will test us. Jaden leaned back. Wonderful. A smart room and a glowing alien. I miss Earth already. Zeta smiled, just slightly. You hide fear with humor. That is a human trait I enjoy. Jaden gave a tired laugh. And you hide danger behind calm words. We are more alike than you think. They sat in silence again. Two beings from different worlds. Trapped. Together. How long did you say this season lasts? Jaden asked. Zeta replied without looking away. 5 days. Jaden sighed. This is going to be the longest 5 days of my life. From the ceiling, a small sphere dropped and hovered in front of them. A soft voice echoed from it. Day 1. Emotional calibration begins. Jaden looked at Zeta. She looked at him. Neither of them smiled this time. Jaden woke up sweating. The bed beneath him felt warmer. Not just warm alive. Like it was breathing beneath his skin. He sat up fast. The red lights were gone. Now the room glowed soft orange, like sunset. The air was thicker, humid. And the walls had changed. Smooth surfaces now had patterns. Moving, shifting patterns. He looked across. Zeta was standing in the middle of the room, arms out, eyes closed. She was humming again, that strange low sound that made the walls pulse with. Zayden slowly stood up. Zey. What's happening to this room? She didn't answer right away. Then calmly, it is reacting to us, to our chemistry. Our connection, Jaden frowned. I don't remember agreeing to a connection. Zeta opened her eyes. They glowed a soft gold now. The bond forms with or without consent. That is how our biology works during the season. Jaden stared. Sounds more like a trap. The wall behind him flickered. He turned, a glowing panel appeared, showing lines of data, symbols. Then, his name, his heartbeat, his emotional levels. He stepped back. Why is it showing my data? Because it's learning you, Zeta said. Both of us. The room adjusts for balance. Jaden turned in a slow circle. The room wasn't just observing them, it was judging them. He rubbed his face. This is insane. Zeta stepped closer. Calm, slow, careful. If we lose emotional balance, the room will tighten. If we bond, it will soften. And if we fight? Jaden asked. Zeta didn't blink. It might try to force harmony. He laughed, cold and sharp. Force harmony? So what? It'll play romantic music and dim the lights? Zeta looked away. Last season, 2 beings refused to cooperate. The room flooded with pheromones. They were unconscious for hours. Jaden paused, then looked toward the ceiling. You hear that? I'm not here to play your love experiment. A soft sound came from above. The same floating sphere as before dropped down. Day 2. Tension level, high, calibrating. Suddenly, the temperature dropped. Jaden shivered. Hey, what the hell? Zeta stood firm. It's testing your resistance. You are emotionally unstable. I'm unstable? You're the one glowing like a space lamp. Zeta narrowed her eyes. Just a flash. But it was enough. The lights turned blue. Cold wind blew across the floor. Jaden's breath fogged. This is not normal. Nothing during mating season is normal. Jaden moved to the wall. Pressed every button he could see. Nothing worked. There has to be an override emergency protocol something. Zeta moved behind him and touched his shoulder. He froze. Her hand was warm. Too warm. Your panic is feeding the system. It thinks we are rejecting the bond. Jaden turned around. Maybe we are. Zeta's face softened. Do you hate me? The question was so sudden, so calm, it caught him off guard. What? No, I barely know you. But you fear me. Jaden stayed quiet. Zeta stepped back. That fear blocks the bond. Without it, I will lose control, and so will the room. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed behind the wall. Jaden jumped. What was that? Zeta didn't answer. The bang came again, closer, like something was crawling inside the walls. Jaden backed. Up. Zeta, are there others here? Yes, she whispered. Other pairs, some successful, some not. The lights flickered. A deep mechanical voice echoed. One participant's levels have dropped below safe. Emergency bond suggested. Jaden swallowed hard. I'm not doing this. You hear me? I'm not bonding just because some alien room says I should. Zeta looked calm. But her hands were trembling now. Then we will both suffer. A section of the wall opened, just for a second. Jaden saw a small hatch. A dark tunnel. He ran toward it. Zeta shouted. Jaden, nitrogen monoxide. If you leave now, the bond will break violently. Good. He yelled, let it break. He reached the hatch and it slammed shut. Locked again. From above, the I voice returned. Escape attempt detected. Heart rate spike. Administering. Comm agent. Wait, what? A soft hiss. Jaden staggered. Something sprayed from the ceiling, scentless, invisible. His eyes grew heavy. Zeta. She caught him before he fell. Rest. The room wants us together. You must accept this. His vision faded. The last thing he saw was her glowing eyes above him. And then darkness. Asterisk. Jaden opened his eyes slowly. The room was silent. Too silent. No AI voice. No red lights. No Zeta. He sat up quickly. His head felt heavy, like he had been drugged. The calm gas, it worked. The room had put him to sleep, without permission. This place is a prison with pretty lights, he muttered. He looked around. Walls were dim gray now, pulsing slowly like a heartbeat. The patterns were still moving, but slower. Watching. Where's Zeta? He stood up, careful not to make noise. Every movement felt like it echoed. Then he saw it. On the far side of the room, a small corner panel was slightly open. Just a crack. Probably a system error. Or maybe not. Jaden walked to it, crouched, and peeked inside. There was a tunnel behind the wall. Not big, but just wide enough to crawl through. He looked over his shoulder. Still no sign of Zeta. Still. No sound from the AI. If they're watching me, they'll try to stop me. Right now. Nothing. No alarms. That meant one thing. They wanted him to find it. He took a breath, pulled the panel open, and slipped inside. The tunnel was cold, metal, dark, but after a few feet, he saw faint lights. Lines of green running along the walls. Like veins. He followed them. It felt like crawling through the belly of something alive. Then, the tunnel opened into a hidden room, a small one, just one chair. One screen. And one recording, already playing. Jaden stood still, watching the screen flicker to life. It was a human woman. Late 20s, short hair, tired eyes. If you're watching this, she said, then you're stuck like I was. Jaden froze. My name was Ava, Earth Exchange Program Cycle 3. I didn't make it out. Her voice cracked. They say it's about peace, understanding, bonding. It's not. It's a test, a trap. They match you to aliens who are unstable. Then they watch to see if the bond saves you or kills you. Jaden's heart pounded. They call it the room, but it's more than that. It's alive. It adapts to your fears, your weaknesses. The more you resist, the harder it pushes. The video flickered. And if you try to escape, they gas you, erase your memory, try again. She leaned forward. But there's one thing. They can't erase Joyce. She held up a small device. Looked like a chip, a key. I hid this behind the coolant panel. If you want out, find it. But if you care about your bondmate, be ready to lose them. The screen went dark. Jaden stood frozen. Everything made sense now. Zeta wasn't lying, but she wasn't telling the full truth either. He turned to the side wall and found the panel. He opened it. Inside was the chip, metal, cold, real, a way out. Stared at it. And then a sound behind him. He spun around. Zeta was there, eyes glowing, face unreadable. You weren't supposed to find this place. Jaden's hand tightened around the chip. So it's all true. Zeta walked closer. Not all. That woman Ava, she broke the process. Her bondmate died because she refused the connection. Did she refuse, Jaden asked, or did she choose freedom? Zeta's eyes dimmed. Freedom without understanding is still a cage. He stepped back. You watched me, studied me, chose me. And now what? You want me to feel love just to pass your test? No, Zeta whispered. I want you to choose. Not because you are trapped, but because you see me. Jaden paused, and for a second he saw it. Zeta was trembling, not with anger, with fear. She was afraid too. Afraid he would leave. Afraid the bond would fail. Afraid she would lose herself without him. You said the room feeds on us, he said. Then what happens if I choose neither escape, nor bonding? Zeta looked at him, then at the chip. Then the room resets, we forget, we start again. Jaden blinked. You've done this before. She nodded, once, quietly. Jaden closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and dropped the chip. Clink, it hit the floor. One chance, he said. You. Tell me everything, no more secrets. Zeta nodded slowly. Everything. Jaden woke up standing. He wasn't in bed. He wasn't even near Zeta. He was just standing in the middle of the room, arms at his sides, facing the wall. Why am I standing? His voice came out flat, like someone else was speaking through him. Then he saw in the wall a mirror. A perfect reflection, but it didn't show him. Not exactly. His reflection was smiling. He wasn't. Jaden stepped back. The reflection stayed in place, unmoving, still smiling. This isn't real, the mirror shimmered. The smile twisted. Behind him, the room spoke. Day 3, mind sync active. User memory blending, 17%. Jaden turned fast. Zeta was sitting in the corner of the room, arms wrapped around her knees. Breathing hard. Her skin glowed too brightly. Cracks were forming along her arms, like light was leaking out. Zeta, what's going on? She didn't look up. The room has started merging us. Too early. It thinks we've chosen each other. Jaden stared. We haven't. But it can't tell the difference between love and survival. Jaden rushed to her. You said we had 5 days. It's only day 3. She looked up. Her eyes were wide with fear now. It doesn't believe we'll bond naturally. So it's speeding the process. Suddenly, the voice echoed again. Emergency sync protocol. Physical merging begins in 4 hours unless override detected. Jaden stood. No, not happening. I'm ending this. He ran to the hatch he found before, but it was gone. Sealed. Clean, as if it had never existed. Come on, come on. Give me something. Then he remembered the chip he had dropped in part 4. He turned and rushed back to the corner where it landed. Gone. But in its place was a note written by hand. Human's handwriting. If you want to escape, don't run. Jump. Jump? He looked around. There was no place to jump, unless. His eyes lifted to the ceiling. Above the floating eye orb. Was a hidden hatch. Barely visible. Almost like a mistake. He dragged a chair. Under it, Zeta stood weakly. What are you doing? I'm jumping, he said. Out of the system, out of you. I didn't sign up to become someone else. You'll lose your memory, she said. The override will reset you completely. You'll wake up on Earth and remember nothing of this. Not even me. Jaden paused. Is that a warning? Or a threat? Zeta's voice broke. It's a goodbye. He climbed up, pushed the hatch, and it opened with a metallic sigh. Cold air rushed. Down. Darkness above. He pulled himself up into the tunnel. A long corridor stretched out before him. No lights, no voices. Just silence. And at the far end, a blue exit light. He started crawling. Fast. Heart racing. Then he heard her voice. One last time. Soft. Echoing behind him. Jaden. I requested you because you weren't afraid of pain. But I never thought I'd become the reason for it. He stopped, hands on cold metal, breathing heavy. The exit light blinked slowly. Ahead. Freedom, but forget everything. Her. This experience. Even himself. He whispered into the tunnel. Zeta. What would you choose? No answer, just the sound of the room breathing. He turned back and crawled down, back into the red-lit chamber. She was still there, sitting, silent. He sat next to her. I'm still here. Zeta closed her eyes. A single light above them dimmed, and for the first time, the room went completely still. No voice, no glow, just silence. Jaden was back on Earth. He was sitting in his old apartment. Same cracked ceiling. Same broken fan spinning too slow. Outside, traffic sounds, distant laughter, birds. But something felt wrong. Too quiet. No smells. No temperature. No movement. He looked down. His hands were glowing faintly blue. He stood up fast. This isn't real. A voice echoed behind him. Zera's. No, it's the room's final test. Jaden turned. She stood there in the center of his living room, alien and out of place. But this time, she looked different. More human. Her face was softer, hair longer, her voice warmer. The room has entered the merge phase. It will show you your home, your comfort, your escape. But it will not let you go until you choose. Jaden backed away. Choose what? To remember or to forget? He looked out the fake window. People passed by, but no one had faces. Just blurred shapes. This is your version of Earth. Zera said, but it isn't yours anymore. Jaden stared at her. You said I was chosen. Why me? Zera stepped closer. Her eyes dimmed. Because I was supposed to break. Jaden blinked. What? 3 seasons ago, I failed my bond. My partner resisted. He tried to escape. I lost control. He died. I was marked defective. Not safe for bonding, she swallowed. But I begged them for one more chance. I told them I found someone compatible. Someone who had nothing left to lose. Someone who might not run. Jaden looked away. So I was your last try? You were my last hope. The room around them started to shake, walls pulsing with pressure. Final sync, 90%. Bond. Status, unstable. Jaden held his head. His memories, real and fake, were colliding. Earth, the room, Eva's warning, Zera's voice. All mixing. I can't think, he said. It's too loud. Zera touched his hand. Silence. Complete. Clean silence. He opened his eyes. They were no longer in the apartment. They were standing in the original red room, the real one. Jaden looked down at his arm. A symbol had formed, glowing faint gold. What is this? Zera answered softly. Your bond signature. It only forms when 2 minds reach mutual recognition. So, I already chose. Not fully, not with your heart. Jaden closed his eyes, tried to hear his own thoughts, and for once, they were clear. He remembered her laughter when he told his first dumb Earth joke. Her silence when he tried to escape. Her fear when he dropped the chip. And her stillness now. You weren't trying to trap me, he said. You were trying to save yourself, she nodded. But now, it's your choice if I stay saved. Jaden looked at her. Then at the door across the room. For the first time, it was open. Wide. Outside. A clean hallway. A return pod. Freedom. Behind him, Zera. Quiet. Tired. Waiting. The I voice returned. Final decision must be made in 60 seconds. Memory integrity unstable. Human override required. Jaden didn't move. If I leave, what happens to you? They'll shut down my mind. Reset my body. Erase my failure. Jaden took 1 step toward the door. The hallway lit up brighter. 1 step closer to being himself again. Then he turned back, walked to her. And took her hand. Let's break the room instead. Zera's eyes widened. You'd risk that? I already did. I just didn't know it. He reached up to the glowing orb in the ceiling, grabbed it, crushed it. Light burst. The room screamed. Everything went white. Jaden opened his eyes to sunlight. Real sunlight. Soft, warm, gentle. He blinked against the brightness, then slowly sat up. He was in a white room. Soft sheets, no blinking walls, no glowing lights, no voice from above. A familiar logo sat on the far wall. Earth Exchange Recovery Unit. Pod 9. Jaden stared. He was back. Earth. They brought him back. But his mind felt wrong. Empty and full at the same time. He touched his arm. No symbol. No glow. Just skin. A doctor entered the room, holding a tablet. Young, clean uniform, smile too practiced. Welcome back, Jaden. You've completed your cycle. No injuries. You'll need rest, but your vitals are strong. Jaden opened his mouth, but didn't know what to ask first. How long was I gone? 30 standard days. And Zara? The doctor paused, a beat too long. Your matched partner completed her cycle as well. That's all we're cleared to share. Jaden leaned back. Did I choose the bond? That information is encrypted. All memory during bonding is partially suppressed to prevent emotional carryover. Jaden stared at the ceiling. So that was it. It was real, but now it was gone. A few hours later, Jaden was released. Back to the city. Back to his normal life. But nothing felt normal. Every song on the street sounded distant. Every face looked unfamiliar, even his reflection. He stood at his old apartment window, holding a cup of coffee he didn't remember making. And then, soft beep at the door. Jaden opened it. No one, just a small silver cube on the floor. He picked it up. It powered on. A voice. Her voice. If you're hearing this, the room didn't win. Jaden sat down slowly, heart pounding. They'll tell you we were just data. A test, a pattern that played out like hundreds before us. But I know better. I remember things I shouldn't. Like the way you blink when you lie. Or how you always sit sideways when you're thinking. Or how you chose me when you didn't have to. A pause. The cube lit softly in his hand. They say bonding breaks after the season, but I still feel you, and if you feel me too. There's a door. It opens once a year. Same place, same room. But this time, no testing, only truth. Jaden looked down at the cube. One last blink. Then silence. He walked to the window. Outside. The world moved like nothing had happened, but inside him, everything had. He didn't smile. He didn't cry. He just whispered to himself. She wasn't just programming. The camera slowly zooms out. And on the screen, one message appears. Mating season returns in 1 year. Would you go back? Somewhere. On a moon station. A dark room. Another human wakes up. Blurry, dash-eyed. Confused. A voice echoes. Welcome. Your cycle begins now. A tall shadow enters, gray skin, glowing eyes. It's not Zara, but she smiles the same way. You were chosen.